one. Welcome back. It's been a minute. I think we took what, like a 2 week hiatus, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, taking care of business, doing man gotta do. So, conversation today, what to do when your money runs out. My man Thought brought this one upon me about 4 or 5 days ago. Because what we're seeing with a lot of these guys, like rappers and stuff, they're realizing that money ain't all that long when it comes to the power game.
Mhm.
There's certain associations, there's certain limits you can only get to if you're not really operating on a business level. So you proposed a question, so can you kind of break down the synopsis of like what you meant by that statement?
Well, yeah, I think in the world of men, and as men, we overly get focused on money, having money, getting money, having money, not realizing that the thing that makes money appealing is the power that it wields.
Mm-hmm.
If money didn't have power associated with it, it wouldn't be so appealing. People wouldn't do anything to get it. And one of the examples I utilized was R. Kelly. I look at the situation where R. Kelly is a great situation, and when your money runs out of power, when you have all the money in the world, but it can't help you because the money doesn't even have the power, it doesn't carry the same power. How do you
Mm-hmm.
handle yourself? How do you keep your resolve? How do you stand uh, the test of manhood?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, let me cut you.
I was just saying, for those who don't know, man, R. Kelly had a lot of money. Epstein had a lot of money. Bernie Madoff had a lot of money. What happens when the money runs out of power?
You stuck in a very hard place. I was laughing. I was talking to one of my good friends, and about these billionaires that get these bunkers, like Mark Zuckerberg and Bezos, all these guys. They get these bunkers, thinking like, okay, if everything goes bad, I'll be safe. And it's like, bro, you don't think the security guard would just shoot you and go in the bunker if we're in a state of lawlessness to that degree where we got to hide in the bunker?
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck about Bill Gates, nigga. What, nigga? Get the fuck out of here, Bill. And especially if we really in a situation where the money, like, because I imagine if you got to go hide in an underground bunker, I imagine at that particular level of civilization, we back to the primal game. Ain't nobody following Bill Gates. Nobody's following Bill Gates' lead. This shit gets fucking hairy. I was talking to a young man, and he was telling me about I desire money, power, and sex. I'm like, well, that's a sad thing to desire. What you really want is, I think the most powerful thing a man can acquire is influence.
Yeah.
The ability to sway people, the ability to have people want to fight for you. That's what kingdoms are made out of.
That's right.
Power, like there's only like as a man, there's only so much power you can accumulate. I'm one guy. I can only fight so if 100 people swarm me, that's my ass. You could be fucking Kimbo Slice, nigga. You're not beating 100 niggas up.
Right.
And you're like the same thing you said with the money. The money's only good if people are willing to take it from you.
That's right.
And then the sex thing is just sad.
Because, like they say, man, some places your money ain't no good.
Mm-hmm. They can't be associated. And anybody who can be bought with money is not the type of person you probably want in your corner.
Because you can't really trust them.
Yep. You know what's interesting? I met a very high profile person, and despite paying me pretty handsomely for a job, he went the extra effort to show like respect. And this is a very well off man. This is a very well connected, well off human being, and to go that far to show that type of hospitality to me was flabbergasting. I'm looking like, I'm just a handyman, man. I'm just putting TVs up and shit. This motherfucker, you the man. And it's like the whole proverb where Jesus would bend down a knee and wash the feet of his disciples.
Mm-hmm.
And I begin to understand that ideology, that method, that we are all common, we are all equal. Don't let a position build my respect. Like you can respect my accomplishments, but I want you to respect me as a human being. And that was very impactful to me.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you think that got lost upon most young people? Why don't they understand? Not young people, but just in this. Well, I guess you would just say, like, I guess it's always been that way. But how do you come to that type of mentality?
What I look at is the cheat code. It's the cheat code era.
Mm-hmm.
When you always look for the cheat code, money is the ultimate cheat code. You know, oh, I got money. Oh, they got money and they can do anything. It wasn't always like that around the world. You know, when I was coming up, the OGs, the old heads used to say things like, "Hey, man, shortcuts will leave you cut short, and if you take the long way, it'll take you way long." You know what I mean? Which lets you know that you need to be focused on your character. You need to be focused on, you know, principle things like integrity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those are the things. Those are the things we look at. I want to look at. Don't tell me you know the cheat code to the game. Tell me that you went the long way and you earned it.
Mm.
And I think a lot of the people, man, they turned in going the long way to the you know, the selling out for the cheap buck. And it's cool. I understand why people do it. You know, I'm not telling somebody don't do it. If you're in a situation and you got to sell out for the cheap buck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But know that there's consequences come with every decision that you make.
Mm. That's real. I think a lot of people, they fail to. It's like we all know consequences are part of the game, but I think with a lot of people that they will handcuff themselves for such a little monetary value in the long scheme of things. I had a client today I was working with, and he was like happy because somebody that did his TV prior, this fucker got mad. He was supposed to do the second TV, but he just left halfway through, and they left the first TV all kind of crooked, and just got the hell out. Because when the guy mentioned like, "Hey, like, I think the TV's crooked," he's like, "No, it's not, man. It's fucking perfect. It's fine as it is," and he just fucking got up and left. And so the guy's looking like, "What the like, bro? I paid you." Like the guy demanded his money up front, came in, did a shitty job, and didn't even finish the job, and then left halfway through. And it's like these type of people, man. It's like, bro, what? How can you ever expect? Like, yeah, you might have got him for some money up front, but you lost a potential client for the rest of your life.
And you lost the clients that they will refer to you also. And that's what I mean when I say, right? It's the consequences. Consequences.
Mm. But people just refuse to. It's just that shortcut shit. And it's a fascinating thing because as I'm going out and I'm meeting so many people in the world, you begin to see like the difference in the people who are wealthy and successful compared to the people who are in the lower class. And one of the things you realize with lower class people is that they're a lot of times they're just very cheap. And like you realize that cheapness, like they don't understand about like that man, like I'm doing a business. The way you treat me, I'm going to remember that in the future. Like, even though I'm still working for your business, if you treat me, try to lowball me, treat me like shit, blah, blah, blah. As my business grows and there's more demand for me, I will not make accommodations to help you out. And then you have to keep going to a new person, instead of be able to have that working relationship with somebody where like, I'm like, hey, look, I know you ain't got the money right now, I ain't gonna try to kill you. So here, give me like half, because we've been knowing each other for 3 or 4 years. Give me half and then come back and pay me when you get back in order. You don't get favors like that. Oh, we have a question.
No.
Yeah, John Doe.
Oh, it's invoice. It's
Yeah,
pronounced as invoice.
John Doe's invoice, like send me my invoice, give me my money. But like I had another interesting story when a ma'am, I told her a pretty high price for like some curtains or whatever, and she told me like what her situation was. She came out very honest. She's like, I was just gonna do it myself. I'm like, no, you're not gonna do it yourself. Look, I'll do it for a fraction for what you told me that you're making. I'll do it for a fraction. And when I got done with the job, me and her were connecting on such a great level. Like we had such a great energy exchange. She came out and gave me extra money. She paid me more than what I demanded originally and gave me a tip on top of that.
Mm.
And that was powerful to me because I did something to that woman, and she was an older lady, maybe in her like 60s. That was powerful to me because I took the time to be a human. It wasn't just about doing a job. I sat around and really talked with her, chopped it up. I'll let her know my hopes, my dreams, find out what she's going through, her life. And that human connection, that's what like you start to realize when the relationship, like you said, when the relationship is good, the revenue is always good.
That's right.
That's one of the most brilliant lines of all time.
That's right. And it took me years to figure that out. Becoming a relationship manager, working with big businesses before, small businesses. Everybody, when you get, there's a certain level that you get to where it's no longer the revenue, it's the relationship, and the relationship dictates the revenue.
That is true, because once you get to that's why I find with a lot of older guys that like retired but they're still working. He's like, I just work with who I want to work with at this point. The money, I don't even do it for the money at this point. I just like interacting with these people and doing something productive, and the money's the byproduct. But I can care less about the money. I'm already comfortable. I'm already set. And that's very freeing. But it's like you have to have I think one of the things people have trouble with is setting that standard for themselves. That I'm not. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying the new era politics, it pushes everything for price, and you never get fulfillment, quality. Those are things that's just important as price.
Mm-hmm.
And we love Walmart. I used to work for Walmart. I like them roll back prices too, but guess what? I don't want garbage either. You know, if I'm going to a car dealership to buy a new car, and the car salesman says, "Well," and I'm going there looking for an SUV, but the car salesman go, "Man, I got a 2-year-old Corvette, man. I take 10,000 off the price. I take 15,000 off the price." Well, he's trying to sell me on price, but if I'm not looking, if he hasn't taken the time to ask me and question me on what I need, what are my needs, and I think we've gotten away from that. In the consumer market, we've gotten away from asking people what are their needs.
That's real.
Customer, what do you need?
This is true. One of the things I've started learning, especially because I'm a business owner, so I'm making sales every day. And one of the things is people like, I'm like, do you want to have your TV put exactly as you want it, with no risk of it falling out or anything like that? Is that what you want? Is that the end result that you want? So you can be able to relax in comfort and know that your TV is good. Because if you're looking for the price, then look, bro, here's a guy right there. He'll do it for you for $60, but there's a good chance your TV might fall off the fucking wall. And then you'll end up calling me back anyway to come fix the shit with a broken TV. So what do you want to do, brother? And the beautiful thing is once you start to build enough revenue, that's where the kind of the place I'm at now, where I have like a frequent stream of leads coming in. I got people. I can actually afford to say no. I'm not doing that job. Get out my fucking face because you're insulting me with the price. And you're trying to be a cheapie, and I'm like, why are you trying to be cheap for?
And that's
Like
a great place to be.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, now I got a tagline on my yeah, one of my taglines I'm starting to tell people is like, just tell me your budget, man. Tell me your budget and tell me and I can come fix it. Because I don't mind. Like, look, if you only making 1,500, whatever the hell, as long as you come to me honest and let me know, like, hey, I just don't got it like that. I'll work with you. Because I don't want to bleed you if I don't like. Because listen, I can get a corporate gig. There's like, because one of the things you start to realize, I can max out corporate gigs, charging the fucking sky prices for the roof. Rich people charging them high much, but for the lower people, let me know your budget. Don't just say no because the price is too high. I'll ask you, like, what's your budget, man? Let me work with you because I want to get to know you as a person. Because I willing to bet that you'll be doing off better. If you're the type of person that thinks about the budget and you say, I really can't do it because this budget, but I really want to work with you. That's the type of person I know is going to be successful later on in life. So I don't mind throwing you the favor on the front end because I know on the back end, you'll be all right. You're going to remember that. This person had a soul. They cared about me. And you never know how much. Oh, go ahead.
I wish there was a lot more business owners who thought that way, but
they care about the straight bottom line. But if you keep caring about that bottom line, people are gonna stop working with you. When it becomes so robotic and so automaton and it's not personal, it's like, I'd rather get money to a small business owner.
Yeah.
And one of the things I thought you said that was pretty profound is like I'm starting to see like with the athletes and the ball players and the rappers, how their money doesn't go that far in the real world a bit. It's like they're
it doesn't. That's something to impress, females.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I've stood next to, NFL pro athletes. They're just another guy to me. I'll never forget, man. I used to do some music, and I got a chance to work with the guy who did the beat. They don't really care about us for Michael Jackson, and he thought that because he was a big shot producer, multi-millionaire, that I was supposed to just fall down and be in awe of that, and then and he pissed me off, man. And he got the right side of me, and I was like, man, don't ever call me again, man. Matter of fact, lose my number, motherfucker. And he just was like, and I was like, yeah, motherfucker, kiss my black ass, and don't ever call me again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because your money doesn't impress me. Your money is your money. Yeah, I can't go to the store and say, man, I'm coming up here with such and such money. Manhood was introduced to me at a very young age. And so as a man, you have to deal with principles. That's why, and the other stream that we had, I laid out those manhood principles, or my 5 manhood principles, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So when I'm measuring something, I'm measuring according to those things. How much money somebody got, or if they're a celebrity, man, that means something to a groupie. That don't mean nothing to me. That means nothing to me. I think it's nice. I think it's very cool that people can have nice things and enjoy the finer things of life for those who can afford it. But that doesn't govern my manhood. And I think when people allow trivial things to govern their manhood, they get pulled into some real shaky situations. Because now, what you gonna do when the next person who has a little bit more material wealth comes along? What are you gonna do then?
You jammed up. You ain't got nothing. You get tossed by the wayside.
Right.
Like that's what's kind of interesting. Like I'm laughing at the like one of the things I kind of look at as like a business owner. Like I would never work with athletes or like long term. I'll never work with no athletes or entertainers because what they fail to not realize is like that money that you're bringing in is such a short window, and your spending habits. If you ain't living like you, like say you make 5 million a year, if you're not living like you making 100,000, if not less, if you making a 5 million a year, you spend a million, nigga, you're not gonna be as hot as you are 20 years from now.
Right.
So I can't trust for your money to always be there. Then what happens when we go on a deal? Because if you go into business and you're investing, we're looking for a long-term payoff over a couple of decades. What the hell am I gonna do with a has-been basketball player or a has-been entertainer?
Mm-hmm.
And you living large, you acting like none of this shit is gonna go away. And I'm looking at this like, oh, we gotta look at the numbers. How are you gonna bring in revenue? How are you bringing in money? What is your there's no strategic plan to it. And that's one of the things I really respected was Rick Ross. Genius. A real business actual genius. Buying those wing stops, actually investing in real business and learning how to run a business in chains.
Mm-hmm.
And not like he went to go start his own shit, but he's like, wait, hold on, this is already an established business. They got chains, they got procedures, they got corporate, they already got everything already in line. All I gotta do is buy into it. And I'm hot enough where I can promote Wingstop, and Wingstop ain't never gonna fall off. People always gonna want wings.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant fucking like business move. Yeah, strategy. And so I look at the game like that. Like if you are in the money thing, or whatever that, like this is another thing. Like I'm calling it right now. LeBron James is gonna go broke. LeBron James will be a broke athlete in about like after he retires, he got about 20, I would say 10 to 15 years. And everybody's laughing at me like, why is LeBron gonna be broke? I'm like, well, first of all, like he got a divorce that's coming. That divorce is imminent. I don't know if niggas can read body language, but his wife does not like him because she's looking at this nigga like you're a giant ass funky kid. You at home playing video games all day. What are you teaching the babies? You got these schools. The schools are fucking failing. What are you doing to make yourself into a better man? You're still doing the same shit you were doing. You're 14 in Ohio. I mean, you fucking almost 40 years old now. And women, like, they don't care about all that flashy lights and the all that. She's probably just staying together to get the kids through high school and college, and then she out. And then you got to think about it. Okay, that's going to be half his wealth gone right there. Are you willing to downsize your living?
That's a great question.
I don't think so. I think he's looking at like, because once again, people don't realize these people are bleeding money. A lot of these athletes, they bleeding money. And if you're not like taking the time to really see where your money is going, how it's being multiplied, like, yeah, you got people running businesses for you, but what happens when your limelight is kind of done? Like, are these people going to be your baby handlers forever? And then if you got some accountants, if you're not smart enough to know how to do your own money, you got to pay these accountants. The accountants are probably telling you, like, hey, look, LeBron, you got to cut. Like, they're probably telling the real, you got to cut like 75% of the spend. You're not going to make it to the end of your life spending like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny thing, what's funny about a lot of those athletes is that they pay for these accountants to tell them they're going broke, and they still go broke, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah. When you have bad habits, it's difficult to get over bad habits. Especially when you amplify with unlimited financial resources.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really can put a dampen on a bright party.
I ain't lying.
Because when I look at Latrell Sprewell, you know, he blew through 200 million and then had nothing to show for it.
You just look at it, like, how's that even happen? How do you go? And the most tragic part of all of it is that you dedicate your life to putting a ball through a hoop or throwing a football, and now what skills can you accumulate? By the time you get done, you're still a young man. You're 35. 36, but like most of those guys, I don't imagine they're not avid readers. They're not mathematicians. They don't have any real skills with their hands. So what are you doing? And they have a superiority complex because the limelight's been on them since they were kids. So they think they might be too good to do some basic work. And it's a fascinating thing. And what was interesting, I mean, I talked to my dad. My dad played in Canada for about 20 years almost. And when he got done playing, he rested his body up a little bit. And he went to work as a roofer. He was a foreman as a roofer.
Mm.
And like he just like, yeah, just like working my hands, I like doing stuff. My body's a little beat up, but I still got the leadership skills. I know how to plan logistics. I've been doing roofing, carpentry since I was a young boy. I still got some backup skills. I wasn't just a football player. I actually had some man skills. I was respecting my dad for that.
I definitely respect him for that. I respect any man that'll get up and go out there and go get it. Because I know I've done roofing. I used to do roofing. And it's a hell of a job. When you carrying 80, 100 pound cement packs on your shoulder up, 3 stories. This is before my, work accident. But you up there on a hot roof and they pouring tar and everything else, man. It's not easy.
And you feel it. I think one of the thing is a lot of young men don't know that there is work outside of an office. There's a build like I think one of the thing is most guys don't realize your hands, your body was built for work capacity. Like I found my niche in just putting TVs up, which I think is incredibly easy. But people look at me in amazement, like, "Oh my, how the hell? This is sorcery." And I'm just like, bro, this is math, man. You just fucking zoom, measure, stud, boom, TV on. And it's like, it's interesting because so many men, they don't understand the value. Like your real value is in your hands as a man. That's the value. Well, in your mind, your ability to process information and logically, and then be able to manifest or to manipulate the environment to turn out what you want to turn out to. That is, I think, like the essence of manhood.
Mm-hmm.
And like I heard a funny quote, it's like the secret to getting rich is becoming an expert at something and then replicate yourself. If you can do those 2 steps, then you'll be rich.
I think it's a good blueprint. I think it's some more to it that people aren't sharing.
Yeah, there's always little trade secrets and other shit like marketing, all this other stuff. But the general underlying is like you're really, really good at carpeting. If you can make other people who are really, really good at carpeting, you will make a lot of money because you can have a carpeting business.
Yeah.
If you're really, really good at writing, you can teach other people how to write. You can have a fucking library.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like when I start to realize that's where the power is in your wealth, is your ability to pass down, I guess, wisdom. Like if wisdom is behind your money, then you'll always be able to have power. Your power will never run out.
I definitely agree with that.
And what would be your definition of wisdom?
The right application of knowledge. The right application of knowledge.
The right application of knowledge.
Yeah, because I mean, you got people that know a lot. They know a lot of shit, but they don't apply it. They don't apply themselves. They don't,
Got it. That makes sense. It's. I think that's the greatest loss in our day. Is the application? It's like everybody is a know-it-all. Like, oh my god, I was looking on Instagram. And, there was a guy telling human beings that we're not supposed to be drinking water. He's one of these spiritual Negro brothers. Like I don't know if you're familiar with Nature Brother. There's a couple guys. He got hemmed up for some rape charges or something like that. but he's basically one of these super spiritual Negroes where they basically just hypersexualize and LARPing. And basically this guy, he's in the same ilk. He's saying like human beings are not meant to drink water. We are not animals. He's like, in order to drink water in the natural state, you have to bend down and cup your hands like this to drink the water or lap it up. But we don't have the tongue muscles to lap up the water. I don't listen to this nigga. He's like, we're supposed to get our water from fruits. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. We're not supposed to drink water. I'm like, do you practice this? Do you not drink water? Like, how long you not been drinking water for? I'm surprised you're still alive.
I would ask him how long he been on dialysis. You know what I'm saying? Like, his kidneys got to be on fire.
Right. He's like, you get all your water from watermelon and shit. I'm like, I mean, best of luck to that. Maybe you might get some juices from it, but water is the basic
element of life.
Yeah, we everything came from water. And then I had niggas telling me human beings are not animals. And I said, brother, you don't know what an animal is.
Right.
Oh, your microphone's getting a little bit choppy. It's going like trickling.
Is it better now?
Maybe try unplugging it, then plug it back.
All right. Hold on.
All right, try now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, but I'm listening to this. Like niggas telling me that humans are not animals, and we come from the Anunnaki, and we aliens, and niggas are superhumans, and I'm like, okay. Like, all right, bro, let's slow down for a second. What is an animal? Well, an animal's like a tiger, some beast. I'm like, no, that's not what an animal is. Then you're telling me, like, the animal kingdom. Do you know what that means? Like, an animal is simply an organism that has a internal digestive system. That's all an animal is. It takes food that comes in. It has to eat other organisms in order to obtain resources and have an inner digestive system by which it consumes and takes the extract of the resources. That's what an animal is. That's it. Niggas like, oh, nigga, you listen to white man science. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, what are we talking about now? What are we talking about now? and that's what I'm saying. Like, the poor thing with the Asiatic community is that, like, you kind of, I think you remember telling me this. We like what sounds good instead of what actually is good.
Right.
Because niggas want to believe they superhuman niggas. And I'm like, bro, you can't read past the 4th grade level. What are we talking about? I don't need white man words, nigga. All right, brother.
And if he had studied, he would know that he's Asiatic is the white man.
Right. And that's, oh my God, it's horrendous to listen to these motherfuckers, but it's like we don't have, like, I guess the black community, I guess it kind of comes back to the money and the power thing. We worship the money, and we see most of the people who have money in the Asiatic community, they're typically athletes, rappers, or the dope dealers. Mm-hmm. And they don't have any power. They don't have any influence. So we just basically replicated niggas who make money with no power. And then we wonder why the black community has less than like $10,000 in the household. All right, what is it? Is it negative?
Less than $200 in a bank account.
It's not even surprising.
I mean, the numbers are horrible. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it'll get better, but you know, in order for things in your life to change, you have to change.
I don't think, man, I'm not thinking that we're gonna get to a point where this community can be salvaged. I think I was talking to my brother. We need to have it sounds fucked up, but if I became king of Earth, I would have the Back to Africa initiative where, hey, black people that want to go back to Africa, go back to the homeland. We'll invest in you to go back to Africa. Give you a first class ticket. We'll give you a bunch of US dollars. And I think that would get rid of most of the dummies. Because they be thinking they really think over there in Africa there's something there for them. There's something there in the homeland, the motherland, all those Dr. Umar ass niggas.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you go over here and find out what them savages look like.
They know it ain't nothing over there, man.
They might go. They might go. You might be get a couple of them. Especially you telling you get them some what's them shits called? Damn, what's that car name? Because niggas love that fucking car. It's like the ones they be getting in Scat Packs or whatever the fuck. Mustang.
Hellcat.
What's up?
The Hellcat.
Yeah, the Hellcat. Yeah, tell niggas free Hellcats. You go to Africa. And the shit like it's fucked up to say, but it's like somebody we gotta really start like trying to educate and teach the babies because like it's like a lot of guys it's so done. And the other thing I'm starting to realize too is with the black community or the Asiatic community, most of the boys they resemble the women. They have a woman spirit because the women have the power in that community.
Mm-hmm.
So the boys they model themselves after the women because what they see is a dominating woman as the I guess the hierarchy of the community. And it's sad, man. I be seeing niggas be zesty as fuck. I look at these motherfuckers. I'm like, nigga, you're a grown ass man. Why are you like sitting like this? I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you?
A grown ass male, not a grown ass man.
Niggas got it is crazy to me. I'm looking at these niggas got attitudes. And I'm like, bro, what the like? And I'm like, you just gotta get punched in the face, man. Somebody gotta beat you up, man. You walking around too comfortable. And you scared, and the funny thing is like, because I talked to a lot of my white homies, they be scared to say anything. Because they know they think niggas is crazy. And like I get in niggas' asses. I know how to get a niggas' ass. I ain't worried about no nigga. And they laugh at my jokes when I be telling this shit because it's like, man, they think they pretenders. They're gonna hit you with that racism shit. They're gonna try to get you fired at your job, but they don't know how to combat a man as a black man. They don't know how to deal with that. They scatter. You think get the fuck up out of there. We're like cockroaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's some sad shit. Hey, hold on, let me take a piss real quick. We'll be right back, people. Give me a moment. All right. You hear me?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, so like it's just it's very interesting to the dynamic of power and how money really like there is no real it's all just kind of an illusion. Whoever has the most influence is the most powerful in the room. That's always been human nature. Only the dumb dumbs can fall for money, the money game. And what you kind of realize is money flows to you passively. The less you care about the money, the easier it comes to you. It just gravitates to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only way you get money is if you become influential. And it sounds so basic, but I'm like, as I'm growing in business, It's like you just heard when we were talking before we started. I got a call from somebody from a job I did 3 or 4 months ago. He's like, "Yeah, a guy recommended you." He said, "You're good service. I'd like to work with you." I'm like, "I don't know this guy. I wasn't expecting. I didn't go out and reach him. He just passed and came into my life." And it's like that frequently happens. You get this wheel, and you realize when you stop caring so much about the money, you just love what you're doing. It just you meet the right people, and those people meet the right people, and they have connections, and it just starts this wheel of life.
And that wheel is what you ride, because that's a power wheel.
It's like a dam. You want to be upstream and you gotta do some climbing to get up there. But once you get a little bit higher up the stream, it's like the water's naturally gonna come and flow down and spin your wheel. You don't have to do as much work once you get it. But if you down at the low end trying to build a dam, you kind of not a dam, but like a water wheel, you kind of fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna get that much power.
And the revenue is following the relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's just man, I'm enjoying even our conversation we doing. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like when it comes to even the YouTube game, it's like before I ever got a dime from YouTube, I had to make 1,000 videos. I'd have multiple conversations like me and you. We've been doing this thing. This is like probably our 10th or 11th video.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we're not gonna really see the fruits of the labor till this thing blows up. Maybe a year, 2, 3 years from now. By that time, we would have done 30 or 40, and people would have just been catching up.
Mm-hmm.
But the groundwork, the foundation, the power has already been there because people say, "Oh, these people they do it every week, or at least once a month. They go and they sit down, they talk for hours, so chop it up, give some game, give some value." And it's like people go back and rewatch your shit because what a lot of people don't realize is like you're not gonna get it overnight. That's such a fucking myth.
Right. Overnight wonder, like overnight blunder.
Bingo. I got a joke where I said, man, I pray for all my young niggas that got rich in their 20s because you're going to have a rough life around 35-ish, man.
Yeah.
Because you missed on a lot of lessons, especially if you hit it quick rich. It's just there's certain principles you have to understand as a man. And if you don't have anybody to, if you don't learn those hard lessons at being broke where your mistakes don't cost you as much. Like when you're broke as a young person, say you go spend some money on some dumb shit or whatever, it's like you gotta sit your ass down for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's like say I'm making $1,500 a month and my rent is $1,000 and I go out for a night and I spend $400 of that shit. I got only $1,100. My rent's $1,000. Well, guess what? Then we sardines and crackers for the rest of the month.
Right.
If I want a place to live, or I gotta get a new job.
Oh.
But it's like if you making $10K a month, the damage you do, like you won't learn as quickly. You'll keep making the same bad mistakes, and it'll keep amplifying, and you'll keep, like you said, reinforcing that bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
And then if anything happens where you get to the point where you're not making $10K, you fucking cook. You know what's funny? That's what happened to a lot of guys in tech. Is what I'm finding out. A lot of these dudes that were working in the tech sphere, they were making these crazy salaries, $150,000, $160,000 a year to basically sit on a computer and Google shit. And then when the tech started hitting the layoffs, they kind of realized, oh, when the competition is steep, I wasn't really in the trenches working like I should have been working.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't got no portfolio. I don't got nothing. Everything I did was looked off of Google. I had I was able to eat off the surplus of that industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now when it's time to get lean, nigga, how you moving?
And then when they find out it's not easy to get another job making $150,000, a lot of people don't realize when you talk about $150,000, you're talking about you're in the top 2% of earners for men.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like I think what's that song you said your album Built for the Drought?
Yeah, Built for the Drought.
Yeah, that's my mindset all the time. I'm ready for the drought. Let it come, baby. I don't believe in a recession. I don't believe in inflation. I don't believe in recession. I think what a recession is like a fever. It's like we burn off the excess bullshit of the planet. But like either one or two things when there's a recession, either you have to work harder for your money or you got to work smarter.
Mm-hmm.
But the money's still going. Don't get it fucked up. The money's still out there. It's only going to go to those who are going to put more hours in, or those who are going to look for better leverage points. Roads still got to get built. Dams still got to be plugged up. TV still got to be mounted. People still got to have food. That number don't change. Construction still going.
Yeah.
What's up?
The world still has to be engineered.
Bingo. Like it's trippy. I was doing a freeway project. I got a good friend. We're doing a freeway project, and we're working like to kind of get rid of like bats. And so part of his job is to basically prevent as many bat deaths as possible because they're going to tear down the freeway. And I'm looking at the freeway. I'm like, hold on, this freeway, because you can see like the date 1987. This freeway was built, and we in 2024. And so they're going to tear down this whole freeway and rebuild it up. And I was like, damn, how long is the planning phase of that?
It's got to be serious though, and I know whoever the civil engineer is on it, they got they in for some work,
right? Because I'm looking at because I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, 1987. So what is the half-life of this freeway before they know, like, okay, we're gonna have to start, because concrete don't last forever. At some point, it starts to so it starts to get brittle. So it's like as soon as they built that thing in 1987. At what time, like, was it like 2000? When did they start to plan out to start to get all the concrete, get all the materials, plan the demolition, and then start to build the next freeway? And that shit, like that, the scope of that blew my mind to think about that level of planning. Because that it has to get done. Because if that freeway collapses, then you got a real situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you sue? Who's getting sued in that situation? Does the state get sued?
That's a great question. I couldn't answer it.
So I'll be thinking about these type of things now, because like I said, like as I'm expanding the business, I'm getting to the point now. It's like, okay, I can start doing bigger jobs, bigger bids. And I got to think long term. My homie gave me some game. He's like, look, you're doing residential, all that, and that's great. You're making pretty good money. But he's like, you're going to get to a level where then you want to start putting bids in where you play a longer game. So, okay, you might have a thing where you don't work for a month, but you hit a bid where you made $30,000 over a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can hit like a couple of those a month, you're going to make way more money in the long run, but you got to bet and have, like you said, like the credit line, have your ducks in a row. So if anything goes bad, because he was telling me he got fucked on a situation because one guy missed some things on some paperwork, messed up a permit. So his whole November got basically shut down. He had all things planned, material, material, labor, machinery, had everything set for November. One nigga made a mistake on some paperwork, and he didn't get to the job till fucking January.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking about my little shit that I got going on. And he's like, bro, you think you got stressed, nigga? How you think I ain't doing it? I'm talking like I'm taking 30K blows, 40K blows.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets to the point, I gotta sell the house, nigga, to get that money back. I was like, all right, we got different levels then, man. I'm like, all right, this is a different type of, we got different type of games.
That's right. That's right. Like Neil said, there's levels to this shit.
Levels. And it's a beautiful thing to know when you have people like that in your life to show you like what really is possible in this realm of life. Like
I know. I was just agreeing with you. I know. I wish. And when in my younger time, I wish I would have had somebody who would have pulled me to the side and grabbed me by the arm and just said, 2 words: working capital.
Mm.
If I don't stress to no other young entrepreneur, working capital.
You ain't lying, brother. You're not lying. That working capital is what you. That's what puts you. It will save your ass. I keep a nice little emergency fund. Like I'm low level, and this is what I like about my business because he kind of bought the business, and so he came into the game playing big money. I'm luckily starting off like, okay, I'm $400 a day here, $500 a day, $150 a day here. It's like I'm playing with smaller monopoly money, so I can afford to make a little bit of mistakes. Like I learned earlier this month or last month, I was blowing way too much money on just frivolous, like spending for like eating out, buying shit I didn't need, just being wasteful. And I looked at my account and said, "Fuck, nigga, I'm a little bit behind on the 8 ball. Like I'm comfortable, but I was like, I see the leakage. I gotta chill back. Let's get back to the rice and the eggs."
Yeah.
And it's nice to learn those lessons with smaller chips, as opposed to when you start playing with like you said, the real working capital. We got motherfuckers' livelihoods on the line. Because right now it's just me, man. If it goes all bad, I take everything, put it in storage. We make it out the wood out. We make it out my car. I'll figure it out. All I gotta do is I don't have to pay no rent no more. All right, no rent. Everything storage. I'll come back and I'll get you later.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got people's livelihoods, you got a family, you got that's some stress. I see why motherfuckers be. But that's the game of manhood.
Game of manhood is how far can you go forward without having to take steps backwards?
Mm. Yeah, I had a wise man tell me, your life is gonna go very well as long as you don't fuck it up.
Well,
it's like as long as you just not like it's more so just not fucking your life up more than trying to hit the big moves because like you're gonna get breaks. It's like Monopoly. You moving that thing. One day you hit a fucking you hit the railroad or somebody hits your railroad. Bam, man! You just came up on some money. You hit the blue squares, whatever the hell. You get a free like whatever like chance or whatever those games would be like. But if you keep not hitting, as long as you don't hit the jail, you don't hit other people's shit. For the most part, yeah, as long as you don't have like no kids out of wedlock, you don't end up in prison. You're not doing heinous crimes or shit like that. For the most part, you're gonna be all right in life.
mm-hmm.
People can feel your energy. They're gonna think they're gonna do well by you. Hey, but let's shut it down because I got a business call. There's a little bit of money on the line. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut it. Yeah, but
I'm not the person that's gonna stop that. I'm promoting that. I want you to take that call.
Yeah, let me go get some bread real quick. But I appreciate you, brother. It's good to see you in better spirits. Good to see you. What the? Oh, damn! My camera it got too hot. Yeah, so we got the perfect timing anyway.
Okay.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.